Panasonic TZ200. Is this the best bang for buck compact camera in 2019? Released in March 2018, this point and shoot from Panasonic has been all but overshadowed by the subsequent and headline grabbing releases from Sony and Canon. But coming in around half the price of those alternatives, this potentially represents the perfect option for any new filmmakers or video shooters out there looking to upgrade from capturing content on their mobile phones. The Panasonic TZ200 has a price tag of £600 when new. It can be found on the used market though for around 450 quid. It features a 1-inch 20.1 megapixel sensor that can record 4K video at up to 30 frames per second. It also has the ability to record 1080 video up to a whopping 120 FPS. Both video modes feature a pretty heavy crop at 1.5 times in 4K and a 1.25 times in 1080. That means that when you are filming in 4K, the 24mm lens becomes a 36mm equivalent. And speaking of the lens, there is the incredible 15 times zoom. That takes you from 24mm all the way up to a whopping 360mm. Now that sits alongside the variable aperture, which goes from f3.3 to f6.4. Alongside all of that, we have customizable function buttons and a lens dial control, pretty decent autofocus, and 5-axis image stabilization. But enough of the specs. Let's jump in and look at the good bits of the Panasonic TZ200. Now, to truly review this camera, it has to be considered in its own place in the market. It's definitely not going to deliver the quality and features that we've come to expect from some bigger DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. It's even lacking against some of the more premium point and shoots from the likes of Sony. But in reality, that RX100 Mark VII isn't even in the same bracket as this camera, as it comes in at more than double the price point. This point and shoot is really about accessibility, convenience, and ease of use, and for that it truly excels. Having the Panasonic TZ200 in your pocket to capture your vlog or travel video instead of a mobile phone will represent a massive step up in quality and functionality for you, and at this price point it represents great value too. The build quality is truly superb with this little camera. It weighs a meaty 340 grams, which for a small point and shoot is actually quite a lot. It feels very premium and weighty in hand, and with that ergonomic front grip, it actually feels very premium to use too. It's definitely the type of point and shoot that looks like it's going to stand the test of time. Alongside the convenience and build quality, you also get some great features too. There's the customizable function buttons and control dial, and awesome video features such as the 120 FPS. Now that's certainly going to be a welcome and surprise addition for any content creators out there, especially when you consider the price point. But with all that said, let's take a look at the bad bits of the Panasonic TZ200. Now first up is the crop, and it really is a heavy one. When you're filming in 4K, it's 1.5 times, and even in 1080, it's 1.25 times, making this 24mm lens 30mm equivalent at 1080. Now really, that's going to be an issue for anyone shooting vlogs in that selfie style, as getting everything in the frame at 30mm is quite hard at arm's length. And speaking of selfie shooting, there's no flip out screen. In fact, there's no articulation to the screen at all. So it's not just selfie shooting that will suffer, it's also any shots above your head or down low to the ground will be done almost blind. Now, it's not an uncommon feature with small bodied cameras. We even see it today with the new Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. But despite that illustrious company, it is still very much a problem for the Panasonic TZ200. And finally is the aperture range, which is more than slightly disappointing, going from f3.3 to f6.4. It just means that we're not able to take full advantage of that 1-inch sensor's potential. Things like depth of field are really going to lack with it, and so will the low light performance of this camera. It's just a shame that they've limited it so badly. It's obviously a compromise they've had to make for that 15 times zoom, but it's definitely a lacking feature in this camera. So in summary, this camera definitely has some notable shortcomings, and it's certainly not going to win any awards for its video qualities, but To judge it purely on that seems a little unfair because the Panasonic TZ200 represents ease of use, accessibility and convenience that's perfect for any new filmmakers or those looking to upgrade from shooting video on their mobile phone. So for more information on the Panasonic TZ200, there's some links below. And whilst you're down there, why not consider subscribing to the channel or even signing up to the Filmmakers Club on Patreon. That's been my grab and go review of the Panasonic TZ200. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.